Hello all, welcome to Microsoft Information Protection for on-premises data session. I'm Denis Mizetsky. I'm a PM on Microsoft Information Protection team responsible for this area, and I will take you through the main scenarios for on-premises data. The main objective of this session is to discuss challenges of on-premises data when we talk about information protection, take you through the MIP solution for on-premises data at rest, understand what are the benefits from implementing of on-premises scanner, and teach you a methodology of implementation of on-premises scanner for data at rest. Those of you that are new to Microsoft Information Protection, a few words on MIP in general. Microsoft Information Protection provides several benefits such as built-in experiences across M365 apps and keep information workers to remain productive, secure, and compliant in the current land space. First, the policies and labels are built across Office apps and Microsoft Teams and service workloads. And work across platforms such as Windows, Mac, and mobile platforms in cloud and on premises. Second, the experiences are powered by intelligent and automated classification. The policies such as encryption and data loss prevention go across a comprehensive set of workloads and file types, and they are managed by a unified M365 compliance center. There is no information protection offered by any competitor that go across protecting sensitive data throughout the digital estate and comprehensively across all environments. Microsoft Information Protection provides consistent experience across services and apps and platforms in various heterogeneous cloud, hybrid, and on-premises environments. In this session, we are going to concentrate on-premises world covered by Microsoft Information Protection solution. So why we are talking about on-premises world when we are all in cloud era? In the beginning of this year, we initiated research with 200 enterprise customers to understand their current on-prem versus cloud state and what are their plans for their on-premises data. 60% of organizations told us that they still have substantial amount of information stored on premises. And what was more surprising that 44% said that they will continue to keep data on premises for 5 years from now. And 40% say that they just cannot move data to the cloud because of regulations. So on-premises data is here to stay for a long time. What are the main challenges that our customers deal when we talk about the on-premises data? We can bucketize them into three scenarios buckets as following. The first one is discovery of sensitive data in on-premises repositories. On-premises scanner helps you to find where the sensitive data is stored. It includes discovery of overexposed file shares and deep file inspection stored in these file shares and SharePoint on-premises sites. The second scenario is label and protect data per regulation or compliance, such as GDPR or CCPA. On-premises scanner complements the MIP story in addition to built-in labeling in Office apps, AAP client, Microsoft Cloud App Security, and labeling in SharePoint Online. This allows you to ensure that your data in use, in motion, and at rest is consistently labeled and protected. And the third one is cloud migrations. Scanner can help you to enable migrations to cloud. Scanner helps you to decide what data can be migrated and what data should stay on premises. And it helps you to mitigate the risk or address regulatory needs by labeling and protecting data before it's moving to cloud. Information protection methodology for data stored on premises includes 4 steps. The first one is mapping of your network and to find your overexposed file shares. You will define the target repositories that might contain sensitive information. With a new network discovery feature that we just released this month, you can now map your file shares and by scanning IP ranges and feeding the results of these scans into deep file content inspection. Second step is inspection of content and discovery of sensitive information. In this step, you will inspect the files stored in scanned file shares and SharePoint on-prem sites. And the goal of this step is to discover what sensitive information is stored in these files. Third step will be applying MIP sensitivity labels on files. Labeling enables end users to be aware of file sensitivity and allow other systems, for example, DLP systems, to use sensitivity labels to mitigate data exposure risks. The last step will be data encryption and protection. In this step, you will apply protection per MIP policy on most sensitive files that require rights management enforcement. You should remember that scanner deployment is a journey. Information lifecycle changes the data landscape all the time. You will gradually onboard more and more repositories. You will find more files. You will tweak your policies, add more automatic rules, and you will discover lots of useful insights from the data map that is created by On-Premises Scanner. So let's proceed to the demo. Then the first thing before you can start with the On-Premises Scanner, you need to install Scanner service on one of your on-premises machines. It can be a VM, it can be a physical server. We recommend using a dedicated machine or pool of machines to achieve the best scan rates. The deployed scanners connect to the Azure portal, and their status will be available under Nodesblade in Azure Information Protection Extension. The installed node just joined the cluster based on your setup. The next step is to define a network scan job to discover file repositories. This step is optional, but it can be very helpful if you don't know where to start. If you have an accurate and up-to-date list of repositories that you would like to scan, you can just proceed directly to the definition of content scan job. Let's review what I have defined in this demo network scan job. Then the network scan job is scheduled to run monthly, and it's targeting two different IP ranges. For example, here you have one class C IP range, and the second one is just a specific IP to be inspected. Let's close the network scan job settings and check for the scan status. You can review the scanner status under Nodesblade, and once the network scan is finished, you will get newly discovered file shares under repositories blade. In this blade, you can get insights on what repositories are already managed and what have been just discovered. You can review the exposure vector of getting information on effective public access. You can get detailed NTFS and share permissions here to decide what will be your next step. Then my next step will be to pick up some repositories. For example, I will pick up this one and add it to the next step, which is content scan of files stored on this file share. Then I'm adding this file repository to demo content scan job. And now let's see what you can configure inside the content scan job. There are two main things here. Content scan jobs define what is scanned and how it is scanned. What is scanned is configured under the repositories list. Here I have 7 of them. And the how is managed under the content scan job blade and includes the scan mode. For example, here it's the enforce equal on, which means the scanner will run in enforcement mode and it will label and protect files per MIP policy. And I have a bunch of other things like a content scan job scheduler, your labeling policy, default label, etc. Let's initiate the scan of this content scan job right now. You can click on scan now. You can also schedule this content scan job according to the scheduler. Then once you click on scan now, it takes up to 5 minutes for the on-premises scanner to start the scan. And the scan rates and throughput depends on various aspects like scan mode, file sizes, file types, bandwidth between scanner and the repository, scanner machine spec, and repository IO, lots of different aspects. The recommendation actually is to run a sample scan over some 100 gigabyte repository, see what you can get in your environment, and based on this, calculate the capacity planning of scanner and decide on how many nodes you need to deploy in your environment. Then the events are sent asynchronously during the content scan job execution. You don't need to wait until the scan job is finished. You will start getting the results under the discovery dashboard and under the activity log blades. For example, here under data discovery, you can filter the results according to the labels found on the files, sensitive information types found there, and various other filters. You can also click on file details and get more about specific file. For example, here you can see that I found French national ID in this file and ICD matched here, and there is no label on this file. We are working on bringing this data into M365 Activity Explorer and Content Explorer to provide a consistent reporting experience for on-prem, cloud, and endpoints. And you should expect getting this data in unified M365 reporting later in this year. Here you have some useful links that will help you to start with the MIP on-premises scanner. And I've included some links that you might find useful for MIP in general. Feel free to come back or pause here for a second. Thanks a lot for your time. And on behalf of the entire MIP team at Microsoft, I would love to hear from you. So do reach us out on Yammer. It's a very live community and you will benefit a lot from it. And I'm handing over to Sesha, who is going to talk about information protection for SharePoint Online, OneDrive for Businesses and Teams.